Hi, moms and dads. Welcome to another episode of Baby Talk Malaysia. Hi, I can see Alice, I can see Babul, I can see Cheyenne, Esther, and many more. Okay, hello, hello. Hi, please tag your friends, especially if they're parents. If you know any parents, moms, and dads, please tag them so that they too can learn. All right, we're gonna start very, very soon. Today is an amazing day. Thank you for sharing, spending your Saturday with us, moms and dads. All right, so hello again to those who have just joined us. Welcome to another episode of Baby Talk Malaysia. Baby Talk is the leading magazine when it comes to pregnancy, motherhood, and family in Malaysia. And of course, we have all of you to thank. So keep the support coming, guys. Like, comment, and share. Not for us, of course, but for other moms and dads out there so that they too can learn. All here at Baby Talk Malaysia Facebook page. How are you? Hi, I'm Hanis, and today's Baby Talk episode, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. Is your child's gut healthy? Top facts of digestion and probiotics. Is your child's gut healthy? How do we know? All right, so this is a very important discussion. Why? Because there are so many advice and tips out there. Some we get from the internet, from Google, some from our friends, and some actually from our grandma, grandpa, based on traditional practices that have been handed down to us over the generations. And of course, these also include beliefs such as maybe, for example, some believe that kids or babies cannot drink plain water because it's bad for their stomach, or some believe that since babies mainly drink milk, therefore it makes most sense to only eat yogurt to boost their digestive health.
So which ones are facts and which ones are fiction or not very accurate? And this is what we'll cover today. We'd love to answer your questions, and so keep them coming. Oh, we can see a lot of other parents coming to. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Princeton Teo. Oh yes, please share this live Facebook event, because as I said, we want all parents out there to know more about gut health and facts about digestion and probiotics. It's important to get our information right, especially when there's so much information out there. So today we're going to talk about it with a health expert. So this is where you want to be. Please like and share this Facebook Live event. All right. Okay. So today's Baby Talk episode is presented by Bond Probiotics. Bond Probiotics Me, Health Mates Just for Kids. Bond Probiotics Me is actually voted as the winner of Reader's Choice Awards in the natural health category for 4 years and running now. This is obviously a premium product, and here's why families love it so much. It's actually the only powder micro encapsulated probiotics in the market, ME technology. I'm going to share a bit about that later on. It has two healthy bacteria strains from Canada, and actually it was originally developed in France at the Roselle Institute for Microbiome and Probiotics by Lallemande, with over 85 years of experience in the probiotics market. It has this amazing vanilla flavored powder. So kids love it so much. It tastes actually just like vanilla ice cream. Yum. And of course, it's easy to be taken, and also it's halal certified, specifically formulated for kids. Thank you to our sponsor today. And now, of course, moms and dads, I have an announcement to make. Drum roll. All right, get this, guys. We are doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway for 20 lucky viewers today. Surprise! So what can you win? You can win a box of this premium product, Probiotics Me. I'm sure many parents are already so familiar with this amazing product, and I'm talking to you. You can win our giveaway today. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So there are 3 steps to this. Number one, you have to like our Baby Talk Malaysia Facebook page here, and like Bond Probiotics Me Facebook page. Number two, like and share this live session, Facebook Live event. And number three, comment below. I love Probiotics Me because. Complete the slogan and tag 3 of your friends. And after you're done, just screenshot your comment and send it to us in our message after the live show. Okay, so we're picking only 20 winners, and we're gonna start our baby talk session soon. But first, I'm going to show you a special video, guys, to help you with your slogan. Bond Probiotics Me is the probiotic supplement for your children need. It's imported with 2 healthy bacteria strains from Canada and originally developed at the Roselle Institute by Lallemande in France, with over 85 years of experience in probiotic market. The patented ME technology gives it another protective layer to ensure the high survival rate of the probiotics. Because of this, it's so easy to store. You don't have to keep it in the fridge. Also, it has a yummy vanilla flavor. Super easy to prepare. You can actually eat it with cereal, mix it with water, juice, or milk, as long as it's not a hot beverage. Okay, it actually, what it does, it promotes healthy appetite for your kids. It's great for fussy eaters out there, and also improves digestive health. And of course, this leads to an improvement in the bowel movement. Overall, it does boost your child's immunity. So important, especially today. So what are you waiting for? Try it today. Your kids will love it. Born Probiotics Me is voted as the winner of Reader's Choice Awards in the Natural Health category for 4 years and counting. Born Probiotics Me is the only powdered microencapsulated me probiotics, so look for me when choosing probiotics. So moms and dads, I hope that video has helped you write your slogan to win our giveaway. If you missed it, don't worry, stick around until the end of this show because we're going to play the video again. All right, so now let's get our session going. Okay, as this topic is about health, we've invited a health expert to join the discussion. So joining us today is Dr. Melanie Majaham. Dr. Melanie Majaham is a consultant pediatrician in Sunway Medical Centre Velocity with over 15 years of experience in the field. Her clinical focus cover neonatal care, breastfeeding, counseling, growth and development, nutritional and dietary advice, especially for kids with poor weight gain, and treatment of general pediatric conditions, including gastrointestinal conditions. Throughout her years as a pediatrician, she has served in Hospital Kuala Lumpur, Hospital Klang Tengku Ampuan Rahimah, and Damai Service Hospital. She's also a registered member of various medical council nationally and also internationally, including the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health, United Kingdom. So with pleasure, guys, moms and dads, please give a big hand for Dr. Melanie for today's Baby Talk episode.
Hi, Hanis.
Hi, Dr. Melanie.
Hi. Thanks for having me on the show today. And thank you to all the parents as well for taking the time and the effort to come and listen to this show today. And hopefully the information, enlightens you somewhat. And hopefully I can help answer some of the burning questions that you might have.
Yes, keep the questions coming. Keep them burning. Keep them coming, Dr. Melanie. I'm so beyond over the moon that you're here spending on Saturday afternoon with us, with these parents. We have Safiq, we have Dr. Tan Chi Kyong, we have Eugenie, we have Panki, we have Chianyan. Everyone here is excited to hear your thoughts on the topic, Doctor. All right, Doctor, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
All right. Okay, let's get it started. Okay, so first things first, let's just address the thing that maybe bug a lot of people. What is actually gut health, and does it simply mean a healthy stomach? What do you think about this, Dr. Mel?
Right. I think gut health is something that is really, really new for many people. In fact, there is no real scientific definition to define what gut health is. Many articles, many papers have attempted to define this. In fact, the British Medical Journal came up with a really interesting group of criteria to define what a healthy gut is. But before we talk about what a healthy gut is, I think we first need to know what the gut is. So the gut is basically a layperson term encompassing the gastrointestinal system, which is actually a pretty large system in our body. It is actually whatever that stretches from the mouth to the anus and whatever organs that are connected to it. I think we have a visual on this. So this is the human digestive system, or the gut. So as you can see, the organs that are connected to this long tube essentially includes like the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, and so on. But I think for the general layperson, when you talk about gut health, it usually refers mainly to the large and the small bowels. So a healthy gut, what is it? So according to the British Medical Journal, they've came up with this article that spoke about 5 criteria. So I think the first thing is the normal digestion and absorption of food. Basically, the child or the person has regular bowel movement, there's no bloating, there's no abdominal pain, because whatever the person eats gets passed out and absorbed accordingly. The second criteria is basically the absence of gastrointestinal illnesses such as diarrhea or reflux, or maybe even acute gastritis. And the third criteria is to basically have normal and stable microbiota. Microbiota basically refers to the bacteria that stays in the gut. So we want this bacteria to be balanced, and usually what most of us refer to as good bacteria. And if there is an imbalance there, then problems can occur. The fourth criteria is actually an effective immune status, because believe it or not, the gut plays a really important role in sustaining the immune system of the body, which I will talk about later. And finally, a healthy gut, a person with a healthy gut should basically have a general status of well-being. Again, there is very exciting research that shows that what happens in the gut actually affects our mood as well. And I mean, I think we will speak about this later on.
No, I think that's super interesting. Of course, you know what. In general, when you have an upset stomach, you're not going to be in a good mood at all.
Yes, exactly.
But as you said, it's not just about the stomach. It's, you know, the whole system, you know, and also especially the intestines. So you've mentioned the 5 criteria of a healthy gut. You know, it's all fine and dandy. We're like, oh, okay, so these are the 5 criteria. But actually, how important is it to have a healthy gut system? And especially today, in what ways does it help a growing child, such as supporting a strong immune system? You know, you have COVID-19. You know, immune system is, you know, a very important thing that parents are looking into right now. So how important is it to have a healthy gut system?
Well, a healthy gut system is absolutely important for a healthy and growing child, because the gut plays multiple roles in the body. I think the most common function in the body that most of us are aware of is basically what the gut does is to absorb, digest food, and it acts as a waste disposal system for whatever's that, you know, that the body doesn't absorb, it gets passed out. And so these are the 2 common functions of the gut that most people are aware of. But a lot of people don't know that the gut system plays an extremely important role in sustaining the immune system of the body. So basically in the gut, there are a couple of mechanisms, very complicated mechanisms that, you know, interact with each other to basically maintain the health of the child. So for example, let's look at the gut barrier. So the gut barrier is a really thin lining of cells, single layer cells that are like really tightly woven together. So if it's leaky, or if the integrity of this lining is not maintained, then disease can occur. Oh, wow. And so that's why it's really important to maintain the health of this gut barrier. And then the second thing is the gut microbiota, or in other words, the bacteria that lives inside the gut. So a lot of people don't really realize how important this, you know, little bacteria that's living in us play in our, you know, health system. So I would say the easiest way to envision is that if your gut is filled with good bacteria, then it's pretty hard for bad bacteria to attach itself to the lining and get into the body. So if you've got you know, inadequate good bacteria, and, you know, the balance tips over towards more bad bacteria, and then you know, disease can occur. And of course, within the gut itself, there is something called Peyer's patches, which is an area in the gut that produces antibodies. And the type of antibodies is called IgA antibodies, and in fact 70% of the immunoglobulins are produced from the gut. So you can imagine, so you can imagine how important it is to maintain the immune system. There are a lot of molecular descriptions on how the gut, you know, plays a role in the immune system, but it is really complicated. They've done a lot of studies even on mice, you know, trying to understand it better, because, you know, this is something that's really exciting and new.
Then I gather from that is that, long story short, it is very important to have gut health.
Yes, it is very important.
Because as you said, 70% of our immunoglobulin, or I think like layman terms, our immunity antibody come from the gut, right? Come from the gut, and that's very important. And then you also mentioned that inside us, you know, there happens to be this wall lining that, you know, if it's poorly maintained.
Mm-hmm.
We have age, and then that gives way to diseases, and then it leads to imbalances. All of this, when you imagine it, of course, you can only imagine it, but that's something
Correct.
that you cannot see, right? So
Yes,
moms
yes.
and dads, I think they are looking for what are the signs that they can see among
Mm-hmm.
their kids. So that leads to my next question: what are the signs of an unhealthy gut, doctor, among kids? That's one. What are the signs? And number two, how common is it actually? Are gut health and indigestion problems among kids in countries like Malaysia?
Okay. So when we talk about, let's look at the percentage first. So there are not
Mm.
many studies in Malaysia that actually look specifically to how common gastrointestinal disorders are. But
Mm.
very recently, in the last couple of years, the University Malaya, the pediatric team actually came up with this study where they followed up about 500 babies below the age of 1 years old. And they actually did a questionnaire sort of thing, and they want to study, okay, how common are these symptoms are. So they were
Mm.
looking for functional gastrointestinal disorders. So when they found that among 500 kids, maybe about 10% has regurgitation. Regurgitation means vomiting. So the
Mm-hmm.
child drinks milk and then vomits,
Mm.
that's a pretty common symptom even in adults. So among those below the age of 1 year old, they found about 10% of them have this problem. And
Mm.
maybe only about 1.9% have colic, and about 1.7% has rumination syndrome, and 1% has constipation. So of course, being centered mainly in one center only,
Mm.
I would say that there's room for a lot more studies to be done to actually see how common it is, because worldwide the global statistics for colic is about maybe 5 to 9%. So
I see.
it varies from country to country.
Mm. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, we don't have conclusive results saying that a
Yes,
lot of kids in Malaysia. It's not because it doesn't occur. We can't
exists.
just
Yeah.
say that, yeah, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. But it's just that there aren't many studies focusing in that area. Correct.
Correct.
Mm.
But
Right.
having said that,
Mm.
your question about what are the signs and symptoms
Mm.
about that we expect in a child who's got an unhealthy gut. So I think if we understand what the function of the gut is, then you
Mm.
obviously know that if there is an imbalance, or if it's not functioning well, then the child will have symptoms of indigestion,
Mm.
bloating, maybe diarrhea or constipation, food
Mm.
intolerance. Sometimes they have skin irritation, fatigue, weight changes. You could be gaining weight, or you could be losing weight.
Mm.
And some studies have shown that if you have an unhealthy gut, you will also have a craving for sugar. But
Oh.
I don't think this has been studied in children.
Yeah, because in
Not
general, kids
yet.
do love their candy, their
Yeah, you're
cake,
right.
their
So
donuts, right?
it propagates itself. So you like candy, you take more candy, and it's already unhealthy. So when you have high sugar food, then this actually affects the microbiota, the bacteria inside the gut.
Hmm. Hmm. Then, doctor, that's interesting. The signs, right? Like one example is, you have an upset stomach, and
Mhm.
I think a lot of parents over the generations they just say, biasa lah tu. It's common.
Mhm.
Kids do have sensitive stomach. It's a growing pain.
Mhm.
So actually, what are the risks when parents, brush this aside and let it be? Let it heal itself, right? What are the risks of prolonged gut health problems among kids? Can this actually progress into something more serious throughout childhood and in adulthood? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with that statement,
Mm.
mainly because even from my experience, a lot of the common symptoms that are presented by parents of children are things like constipation, I would say, is top of the list.
Mm.
Constipation, colic, um, usually those two are the main symptoms. So
Mm.
if things are not treated, then obviously the symptoms can prolong, the child will feel unwell,
Mm.
and then other complications can occur. So I have an example in mind, actually, because I
Mm.
had this is a patient of mine who was under my treatment for a couple of years ago. So mom is a nurse, so she's obviously really busy. She's not really been monitoring what the child is eating, and then until we sat down and spoke to him, he basically presented with I think 2 months of weight loss, really poor appetite, and constipation. He goes maybe once a week with very, very hard stools, and he tends to strain, and then he'll get a recurrent abdominal pain, and then finally presented to me with just vomiting. Nothing would stay in. Eat, vomit, you know. So when we sat down and spoke to the child, he's about 11 years old, very bright child. And he told me what his diet was. So basically eats, skips meals, so irregular meals. He skips breakfast. He might have lunch at whatever time. He'll have mainly rice and chicken, and that's pretty much what he eats. So he doesn't take veg, he doesn't take fruits, he doesn't take much water as well. So he's been having constipation, but you know, because he's already 11 or 12, sometimes most parents, they don't specifically ask, are you going okay? You know, is your stools hard? You know, if there's no complaint, the child doesn't say anything.
That is fine. Yeah.
It, you know, normal lah, you know, that kind of thing. So eventually we did an X-ray, and we found that his gut was just full of poop, you know.
Oh my God.
Just all impacted together. So you can imagine if all that, you know, toxic waste inside him, he's not going to have any appetite. And now, you know, it's got so bad that there was a little bit of obstruction, maybe partial functional obstruction. So he started vomiting, and then he couldn't eat at all. And then, so all that propagated over a couple of months just because of bad diet and constipation. So eventually we had to admit him, you know, put him on a drip. You know, he needed to do all sorts of blood tests, X-rays, you know, which could have probably been avoided if it was detected much earlier. But long story short, the child was, after we evacuated his bowel, started him on pre and probiotics, and get him to see a dietitian to readjust his diet. And he improved over a period of a few weeks, and his appetite came back. Mom took more effort to make sure he eats fruits and vegetables. So I mean, I think that illustrates why it's really important to, you know, pick up something early and get it treated, because something as simple as constipation can drag on into something that requires all sorts of tests and drip and admission and poking and things like that. You know, what most parents don't want to do.
And that's to an 11-year-old child. You're putting your child throughout that because, you know, you just assume, well, I guess the poop just wants to stay at home, you know, because parents. But yeah, seriousness, please monitor your child's digestive health. And actually, moms and dads, if your child is presenting with a symptom, and if you have some questions for Dr. Melanie, please feel free to ask, because we are going to answer your questions later, right? And also, please like and share this Facebook Live, because Dr. Melanie and I, we're gonna chill here. We're gonna talk about gut health and also probiotics, and this is where you're gonna learn a few stuff today, important stuff. So, Dr. Melanie, back to you know, the topic. I think you know, you've illustrated very clearly this is important to take care of, and it can lead to a more serious medical condition if not dijaga, right? So now, I think now we've got our bearings right. We know what gut health is in general. So now I want to talk about the common beliefs in Malaysia and also Southeast Asia. I think globally we have these beliefs, right? We get it from the internet, we get it from our friends, we get it, you know, our moms and dads and grandpa and grandma tell us these tips and fatwa, right? But I want to ask you whether these are facts or myths. All right, parents, in the comment section, if you have like a unsure thing that you want to ask us, please submit it in the comment section so that we can try to help answer with Dr. Melanie's help. So let's categorize the statements that I'm going to share with you as fact or myth, or there are some truth to it. So, all right, Dr. Melanie, okay, does this sound true or false? In the first 6 months, babies can only drink breast milk and should not drink any plain water, supplements, or solid food because it's bad for their stomach. Is this a fact Is it a myth?
I think the statement is somewhat inaccurate, but the WHO and the American Academy of Pediatrics do state that for the first 6 months, babies should be on breast milk or formula as an alternative feeding for the first 6 months. However, in certain countries in Europe, even in UK, they have something called the Scientific Advisory Committee on Nutrition. So they have said that you must start weaning by the time they are 6 months, but not earlier than 4 months. That means basically a 4 to 6 months range. So sometimes they say, based on the development of the child can sit, hold the head up straight, looks interested in the food, looks hungry all the time despite feeding milk, then the child might be developmentally ready to accept food. So that means it's not a clear-cut 6 months, kind of a cutoff point. So it can be between 4 to 6 months, but ideally until 6 months. And as long as the child is breastfeeding or on formula, you should not feed plain water. Because after all, in breast milk, the first 70% is more or less water. In breast milk. In formula milk, how do we make formula? We add water first, and then we add the milk powder. So the water is there, so you don't need to specifically give plain water, because too much water can affect the concentration of your salts in the body as well.
Okay, that's very helpful. That's very, very helpful. So I guess, especially for new moms that have just given birth, congrats if you are in the comment section. I hope that helps moms out there. So now the next statement is, if the child is not bloated and poops regularly, then that means the gut is healthy. That's a statement. And also, Dr. Mel, I also would like to add, for some kids, is pooping once every few days considered normal? Some actually assume this is normal because when they go to daycare or preschool, they have recess, they don't get as much water as they do at home. So, right back to you. Is it considered healthy to poop a few days? If the child is not bloated and poops regularly, then that means the gut is healthy. What say you?
I think that is true. If you have a good working gut, because the absorption and digestion is good, then obviously your bowel habits will be good as well. But the frequency of bowel habits actually differ from person to person. So obviously, if the child, some children, they pass maybe 2 days once, but they're not straining, there's no bloating, the poop is soft, so that's fine as well. But in general, most patients, most children do go at least once a day.
Yeah, in general, yeah, I think adults too. I think if an adult doesn't pass motion once in a day, even myself, you feel uneasy, right? There's something wrong somewhere. Okay, so I hope that helps parents out there. Okay, now I'm gonna go a while to the comment section to see if there are any questions. Okay, I see a question. What's the difference between probiotic and prebiotic? Yep, a good question. We're gonna cover that later on. Okay, I have a question from Agnes here. May I know probiotics me? I think we're gonna tackle that question later. Thank you for that question, Agnes. But actually, doctor, I have a question on my own. What are tips to prevent an unhealthy gut? Are there any changes parents should make to their kids' diet or lifestyle across the age groups?
I think what I'm going to say, everybody more or less knows, a balanced diet, obviously low in processed food, low in salt, low in sugar, high in fiber. Usually it's a quarter half rule, like 25% of protein, 25% of carbohydrates, and actually 50% should be fiber, which I don't think most of us follow anyway. But something that's balanced. There's too much processed food nowadays. So I think that controlling the diet, plenty of fluids, plenty of water, having good exercise is important as well. So good, active lifestyle. So and of course, supplementing with probiotics can help. Especially if your own diet lacks probiotic, because I think probiotics are contained in many of our natural foods like yogurt, kimchi, tempeh. But then again, how much do the children want to eat?
Tempeh.
Having said that, breast milk, breastfeeding does have natural probiotics as well, and what do you call that? A lot of the formulas in the market as well nowadays, they do add on probiotics or prebiotics. So I think on the slide currently, these are some of the common foods that contain probiotics, and I don't think many children would actually partake these.
Yeah, I mean, these are delicious for us,
For us,
just big children like us, right? But yeah, you're right. How many kids do you see eating, craving for tempeh, kimchi, natto, and these pickles. So I guess when it comes to it, you have to have supplements at some point if you are lacking in certain food groups. Now, talking about food group, doctor, this leads to another belief out there. So the next statement is, to naturally keep a healthy gut, kids should cut down eating food groups like dairy, gluten, or processed food. How much of this is true?
I think this is partially true. Regarding, I mean, obviously, as what I mentioned earlier, processed food contains a lot of sodium, sugar, preservatives, and can be high in coloring as well. So minimizing that would actually improve your gut health. But with regards to gluten and dairy, I think this is specifically if you have an intolerance or an allergy to these food groups, then you should reduce or stop it completely. But other than that, I don't think it's really related to gut health unless you are specifically allergic to it or
I see.
intolerant.
Now, Dr. Mel, you mentioned allergies, right? I think in 2021 we have a lot of allergies going out there. I don't know whether it's something new or it's just that people are now more aware. Okay. Anyway, this statement right here, let me know if it's true or false. Food allergies or food intolerances are a result of parents who let their kids be picky eaters. Kids can eventually develop immunity towards any food allergies like peanuts or legumes if they eat these kinds of food since young. So what do you say to that?
Okay, for your first statement, I don't think we can immediately inference the point that picky eaters will predispose to allergy. So I don't think that statement is true. But for the second statement, can kids develop immunity towards food allergies? That's really interesting because many studies have been done to try and expose the child to allergens like peanut in order to reduce their allergies to it. But it is done in a very controlled situation. So if your child is clearly allergic to it, don't try this. So let's just give an example. There is a landmark study called the LEAP study, which actually introduced peanut-containing powder to children the age of, I think, 4 months to 11 months.
Oh, that's quite early.
Yeah, and then this is in the UK. And then eventually they found that those who were fed these peanut products actually had an 86% reduction of allergy to peanuts by the age of 5. Same thing in Japan, they did something similar for egg. So by 6 months, they fed babies with pasteurized egg powder, and they found that later on there was like about a 70% reduction of allergies among this group who were introduced eggs early. So the general consensus that, things like egg, peanuts, anything that, or even cow milk products, if it's introduced early according to the appropriate age development, then the risk of the child developing allergy in later life is less.
Oh,
So
that's an interesting
yeah.
finding. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is. So the thing is, most of us, we were taught, during our medical school to not give peanuts below the age of 1. So all these new research challenges what we were taught traditionally. In fact, that in certain countries where peanut is a part of the child's the infant's diet, the percentage of food allergy for peanut is extremely low compared to UK, where they are taught to avoid peanut until the child is above 1 year old. It's 10 times more. So now people are thinking, since you've been teaching everybody to avoid peanut, is that the reason why there's
People
such a
are
high
developing
peanut
peanut
allergy
allergy?
in the UK? Yeah, compared to this other country, So it's interesting.
That's interesting finding. I think like maybe to those who are interested, you can know more about the findings later. Maybe Dr. Melanie can share the finding in the link section later. But okay, I because we will be talking about food groups and different foods, right? I also found that out there is a common belief that yogurt is the answer to good gut health in kids. And in fact, the only answer people are saying. But true or false? And what are the common food sources containing probiotics suggested for gut health? I think you've showed this imagery just now, right? The different food groups. But yeah, while we look for the slides, talk about yogurt. Is it
I
as
mean,
powerful as?
yogurt is not the answer to or everything, but it is a good natural source of probiotics. But having said that, some children just will not take yogurt because of the taste. So, but even if you don't take yogurt, you can take other forms of food that contain probiotics. So it is not the answer to everything, but it is a good a food source. And I know a lot of people like to ask, if my child has asthma, or because it's cooling, Malaysians we say it's cooling, so they don't want to give a yogurt. But I find that that is very cultural, because obviously in Western countries and actually even among a lot of my patients from India, yogurt is actually one of the first groups of food they introduce during the infant period. So and the babies are fine. So I think a lot of this is sort of what you were brought up with, and the traditional thought and cultural values rather than scientific no-nos.
That's interesting. I think, yeah, a lot of things that we grow up with is cultural, it comes from what our grandma have taught us over the years. Okay, so that's interesting to know. I think I'm seeing some questions right here. I'm gonna get to you, moms and dads. I'm gonna get to you in just a bit. Now I think Agnes Chia has asked just now, prebiotics and probiotics, what's the difference? Are there any difference? So this statement, prebiotics and probiotics have the same function in maintaining gut health. Is this true or is this false? Is taking either one enough? So what's your professional opinion on this?
This is false, because prebiotics and probiotics are different. I think you can liken it to a garden. So prebiotics is basically the soil in which the seed grows in, and probiotics are the seeds. So probiotics refers specifically to live organisms, and these live organisms are prepared in a form that is in an adequate amount, that is given as a supplement to the person, and then it is supposed to confer health benefits. So that is the definition of what a probiotic is. So common probiotics are actually that are used for health benefits are actually like lactobacillus or bifidobacterium. In fact, even yeast, Saccharomyces, a yeast is also one of the common probiotics available. So probiotics are usually registered as supplements. Occasionally, they are registered as drugs when they have had enough study to back up their health claims. Whereas prebiotics, you're actually referring to what the probiotics eat to grow.
Mm.
So prebiotics are fibers. So usually they are non-digestible fibers that we take, that we eat, and then it sits in our gut. We don't actually absorb it, but it's used up by the probiotics or these bacteria to propagate its growth. So they need each other in that sense.
Mm.
So these are the foods that are actually commonly containing prebiotics. Again, they are not usually what children like to eat.
Yes.
But having said that, nowadays a lot of infant formula and food are actually supplemented with prebiotics.
Mm. So I hope who was it who asked, Ashley, Agnes, I hope that answers your question. So no, it's not the same thing. So it complements each other. Yeah, doctor. So okay, before that, I'd like to remind everyone you will have a chance to bring home. You can be a winner of our Bond Probiotics news today. All you have to do is 3 steps. Number one, like this Facebook page, Baby Talk Malaysia, and like Bond Probiotics Me Facebook page. Like and share this Facebook Live event and comment below Probiotics Me I love Probiotics Me because complete the slogan and tag 3 of your friends. Okay, doctor, my next question is there is a belief that says my child only needs probiotics if he is experiencing constipation, indigestion, or heatiness. Is this correct?
I think that is an incorrect statement. Yes, it will help as adjunct treatment for constipation, but you can take it as a daily supplement to prevent the onset of problems, because these probiotics that we take in as supplements is usually if your diet is already very rich in food that are, if your diet is bad basically, and it doesn't contain much pro or prebiotics, then I suppose this is one way for you to supplement your gut with the good bacteria that you may be lacking in your diet to prevent from further problems.
I see. So probiotics prevents from further problems. Talking about problems and illnesses, right? There is also another belief that says unhealthy kids should not take probiotics because it does not go well with other medications. Is this true or false?
This is false, because let's put it this way: a lot of probiotics are used together with modern medical treatment to hasten the recovery of that child. For example, if the child comes in with diarrhea and vomiting of infectious cause, that means an acute gastroenteritis. Of course, if we treat the child with oral rehydration salts, we may or may not treat the child with antibiotics depending on the cause. We might put up the child on drip to hydrate the child, but at the same time we might give probiotics, because some probiotics have had enough study to show that it shortens the duration of diarrhea, and this actually plays an important role as part of the treatment for this unwell child who came in with gastroenteritis. In fact, there are a lot of studies that shows that premature babies who were on a specific strain of probiotics in the NICU actually reduced the occurrence of necrotizing enterocolitis, or in other words, infection of the gut. Because premature babies, they are very, very prone for this kind of severe intestinal infection that can rupture and cause very bad problems. So there are a lot of studies that have shown that it might actually reduce these occurrences. So it's not something that you cannot use when the child is not well. But having said that, there are specific situations where you should not take probiotics, or if at all, you should always discuss with your doctor first. And these are like patients who are severely ill, really, really ill, already in ICU, or or patients who are cancer patients on chemotherapy. Children who have immune disorders from infection, just like HIV, or immune disorders that they inherit, and this is a really rare group. So this particular group usually any live organism, even eating food like yogurt or sushi or sashimi is not advised, because their immune system is near zero. So they cannot tolerate even any bacteria at all. But for the rest of us, general population, and those child who comes in ill with bread and butter conditions, like, basically, diarrhea and vomiting and things like that, this probiotics do have a role there.
Then if medication or if, like you said, if the average healthy person can consume, at what age can babies and kids start taking probiotics?
From 0 months, the newborn can take probiotics. Our body baby's body, the baby's intestine, they eventually develop their gut microbiota. So there are actually a couple of things that will will skew the child to have healthier gut flora. That means if it's a vaginal delivery as opposed to a cesarean section, if the child is breastfed as opposed to formula fed, so these kind of factors actually change what is inside the baby's intestines. So good bacteria grows better when it's through a normal delivery, and also if the child's breastfed. They have studies that show that the bad bacteria tends to be, the balance shifts towards more of the so-called bad bacteria or bacteria that cause problem in those who were on cesarean, delivered by a cesarean section, or
I see. So actually, I didn't know before this that the method of delivering your child also affects your prebiotic. So guys, if you actually you had C-section before, if you have further questions, please feel free to ask. We're here to help. Dr. Melanie is here. Amazing. Thank you again for spending your time. So now I think, I got a question here from Ashley Lim. She's asking, is it Ashley Lim? Yeah, Ashley Lim is asking that her boy is 9 years old. So when actually, when as in like, at what time of the day is it best to take probiotics? Do you take it before or after a meal? I think sometimes, adults too, we don't know really. Does it matter?
I don't think it matters particularly. But having said that, if you have an empty stomach, anything you eat tends to absorb faster.
True.
But a lot of medications, we tend to say after meal, because a lot of medications can cause stomach upset when it's taken on an empty stomach. But I think for probiotics, to be honest, I've never particularly advised patient to take before or after. I may be mistaken in this. So, but I don't advise any particular time for the patient to take, whichever the child tolerates better. Because as you know, a lot of probiotics should not be taken with warm or hot food.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're going to be taking it, during the meal time, then I don't know whether the heat from the food will affect the probiotics.
I think all around the general consensus is, you're right. Heat actually destroys some of these live bacteria, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because you also mentioned that babies can, from the age of 0 they can take, and also how the method of delivering also affects. So at some point the moms also play a role in ensuring this balance, right? So to that point, are probiotics safe to be taken during the mom's pregnancy itself?
Yes, probiotics are safe to be taken during pregnancy. But having said that, anything you take, you should always discuss first with your obstetrician before consuming anything, because we don't know what your situation is. If you are in any situation that will will make probiotics unsafe, or for any medication or supplement for that matter, you should always discuss with your obstetrician first.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, and we have another question from Esther. My friend's son is around 3 years old, healthy weight. So my friend is saying there's no need to take probiotics. Is this good? What's your thought on this?
I mean, if your diet is already rich with probiotics, then probably it's not necessary.
Mm-mm. But like you said just now, how many kids are actually eating tempeh or these
Mm-hmm.
these food groups, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do a quick scan, doctor, to see if we have any other questions from moms and dads, and there you have it. If one second, Jenny Toe, yeah, Jenny Toe. Ginito was asking, is there a best time to consume, empty stomach or after meal, morning or evening? Yeah, so we covered this just now, right? And I hope that answered your question, Ginny. Okay, I will do a quick scan. Thank you, moms and dads. Thank you for joining us in this session. I hope that you have learned a lot from our talk with Dr. Melanie. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Okay, I think this is a question about yogurt. Yogurt is so popular
Oh,
here.
okay.
From Agnes Chia Hui, yogurts, eating yogurts. Plain yogurt or can mix with fruits?
I think that when you're talking about probiotics, obviously your yogurt is sufficient, but then a lot of fruits
Mhm,
have natural prebiotics in them, So of course you get the best of both worlds if you combine, because you are enriching the diet by adding on fruits to the yogurt, and you're also
mhm.
probably making the yogurt more tasty for the child to eat as well
Yeah.
by adding flavors. But I think by all means you can take it plain, or you can add on fruits to add on to the taste, as well as to add on to the nutrition of that particular meal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I think, Dr. Melanie, from our calls prior to this event, you mentioned that you just got vaccinated, right? And of course, during the vaccine rollout, some are curious to know, you know, vaccination for vaccination in general. What's your thoughts on that and how it relates to kids? I think there's an age limit to that, right?
For which
For
vaccine in
vaccination.
particular?
COVID-19 vaccination.
COVID-19 at the moment is only for the age of 18 and
18 and
above.
above, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and also for I think it's not confirmed to be safe for pregnant women yet. So at this point, it's not recommended as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, good to know. So I think that wraps up our talk today, Dr. Melanie. So yeah, so Doctor, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And of course, as we reach to the end of this session, what are the main points that you'd like for parents to take home today from this session, especially when it comes to gut health and
Mm-hmm.
probiotics?
Right. So I think that I hope that I've shared with you how important the gut is in our body, and also how important it is to maintain gut health. But maintaining gut health, it takes, it is a holistic approach, in terms of your diet, your lifestyle, um, the fluids you take. All that will actually maintain the gut health. And regarding probiotics, there are many studies that are for probiotics. There are many health claims, and a lot of these health claims have been validated. So when you're choosing your probiotics, do make sure that it is coming from a reputable company who have had
Mm-hmm.
adequate studies done to show that the health benefits that they claim actually do work, in other
Yeah,
words. So
yeah.
yeah, because I think if you just go to any pharmacy, there are so many probiotics in the market.
Mm.
So it is really important to just do a little bit of research before choosing the best probiotic for your child.
True, because like you said, we have so many options out there,
Yeah.
and parents, of course, as well-meaning as they are, sometimes it's so easy to
Mm-hmm.
just, you know what, just buy any probiotic that you see on the rack, right? But actually,
Mm-hmm.
it is so
Or
important.
online.
Yeah, yeah, or online.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you again to Dr. Melanie. So moms and dads, if you'd like to get professional consultation for your kids' health, feel free to make an appointment to Dr. Melanie Majaham at Sunway Medical Centre Velocity. So also Dr. Melanie is going to stick around for a while, going to answer questions in the comment section after this show. So please stay to the end if you have any questions. And in the meantime, today's Baby Talk episode is presented by Bon Probiotics Me Health Made Just for Kids. It's consistently voted as a winner of Reader's Choice Awards in the Natural Health category for 4 years and counting. And moms and dads, here's why parents love Bon Probiotics Me. Okay, bye, Dr. Melanie.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Thanks for sticking around.
You too. Moms and dads, stick around, okay? And now let's have a look at what parents think about Bon Probiotics Me. All right, so Bon Probiotics Me is the only microencapsulated ME probiotics. So you have to look for ME when choosing probiotics because it provides that extra layer of protection to ensure that the probiotics are alive and well when consumed, right? So that's how it works. How we know that it will work. So it's good for kids for 2 years and above. You can have 1 sachet daily. It comes in this 2-gram sachets. It comes in a box of 10 and a box of 30. And for me, this is a very premium product. It comes with 2 different bacteria from Canada, and it's actually originally developed in France, whereby the institution, the Roselle Institution, has more than 85 years of experience in the probiotics market. So it's halal certified, specifically formulated for kids, and kids love this because it has great vanilla taste. This is very, very premium. So if you'd like to win this, please stay tuned. Okay, but you cannot just believe myself. We have this amazing testimonial. We have this parent who says it's tasty and great for digestion. Kids love it, especially for fussy eaters. So moms and dads, if your kids are fussy eaters, this, like I said, will improve their digestion and also help in building their appetite. It's by untuk penghadaman kanak-kanak lebih sihat dan cerdas. Just look at these happy kids. And now and we're doing a special giveaway. Each winner will get a box of Bon Probiotics Me, and you can win our giveaway. All you have to do is 3 steps: like our Facebook page and Bon Probiotics Me Facebook page, like and share this Facebook Live event, and comment below, I like Probiotics Me because, complete the slogan and tag 3 of your friends. And after you're done, make sure you have the screenshot and send us a message after the live. We're picking 20 winners only, so come join our giveaway. And in a few seconds, we're going to show the Bon Probiotics Me video so that you can get ideas for your slogan. And that wraps this episode. Thank you to Bon Probiotics Me Health Mates Just for Kids for sponsoring this episode of Baby Talk. For our viewers, you can still ask questions and we'll reply to your comment after this live session. We'll announce the giveaway winners on our page this week, so make sure you follow us for updates. So who knows, because you might be one of our lucky winners. To all viewers, moms and dads, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and share this episode. We'll end this episode now with a special video from our sponsor, Bon Probiotics Me. I'm Hanis Hisham, your host. Stay safe, stay home, and see you in our next episode. Bye! Watch the video!